Right, lads, today we're digging into the Mikey Moore saga, and it's a proper twister. Danny Rohl wants the wee man back at Ibrox, but the whole thing rests on Roberto De Zerbi's desk down in London. And listen, if you missed the video I dropped earlier, I let off an absolute bombshell about Youssef Chermiti, and there's a brand new striker on the radar. Go check that one out after this, it's a belter. We are the people, lads. Smash subscribe and let's get into it. Right, lads, gather round, because this one's a proper talker. Over at Ibrox News, they've been all over this Mikey Moore business, and honestly, it's the story everyone's been chewing on since Saturday. So, let me lay it out for you. Danny Rohl has come straight out and said it. He wants the lad Mikey Moore back at Rangers for the 2026-2027 season. No dancing around it, no politician's answer. The German wants him. End of. Now, picture the scene. Saturday gone, Falkirk Stadium, Rangers turning them over 5-2, and the wee man Moore walks off the pitch late on. And what happens? The whole away end, our lot, stands up and belts out one more year. One more year, lads. That's not just noise, that's a message. That's the Rangers support telling the world this boy is one of ours now. And let me tell you something. This is the same stadium where the kid had his worst day in a Rangers shirt earlier in the season. Full circle, eh? Slow start, dropped his head a bit, and then 7 goals, 3 assists, 33 outings, 18 years old. 18, carrying the creative load while half the senior pros were strolling about like they were on a Sunday walk. Rohl, speaking to the press after the Falkirk game, didn't mince words. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, "Look, we're clear as a club what we want with Mikey, but there's 3 parties involved and we're just one of them." He talked about the lad fitting in beautifully, talked about pairing him up with young Tuur Rommens on the left side next season. Said he wants the boy in pre-season from day one, not waiting around till August. Why? Because Rohl knows, and we all know, we can't afford another slow start. We've come from too far back this year already. Now here's where it gets sticky, lads. The Rangers Review caught up with Moore himself last week, 15th of May, and the lad's being honest with everyone. He says it's the same situation as last year. New gaffer at Tottenham, in this case Roberto De Zerbi, and he's got to go down to London, sit down with the man, and find out what the Italian wants to do with him. The boy's a Spurs player at the end of the day, and he said it plain, "I'm going back there, I'll see what the new people say, and then I'll make a decision." So the whole thing rests on De Zerbi's desk, the Italian fella who's just walked into Tottenham. He looks at Moore in pre-season, decides if he fancies him in the Premier League squad, and our future hangs on that meeting. Mind you, Spurs are sweating about relegation themselves. Unless West Ham finish below them, they're staying up. So the lad's parent club might have bigger fish to fry than worrying about one teenager. And listen, the numbers don't lie. 32 Premiership games, 7 goals, 2 league assists, 7 big chances created, 1.5 successful dribbles per match. Joint 5th top scorer in all competitions for Rangers this campaign. A teenager, on loan, outperforming his expected goals, outperforming his expected assists. That's a footballer, lads. That's not a project. That's a footballer right there. And you know what hurts most? Through that horror run, 4 defeats on the bounce against Motherwell, Hearts, that mob from across the city, and Hibernian, Moore was the one putting his head where it hurts. The lad on loan, 18 years old, fighting harder for the badge than fellas on full contracts, says everything, that does. Says everything about who cares and who doesn't in that dressing room. So now it's down to Andrew Cavenagh and the Americans, the 49ers lot. They need to be on the phone to Tottenham. They need to make this happen. Because if you let a kid like that walk away after he's poured his heart out for the jersey, The supporters won't forget. The supporters in G51 have taken a proper liking to him, and rightly so. Rohl said he'll wait if he has to, but he wants him from pre-season. Let's hope, for everyone's sake, the boy's back in light blue when the new campaign kicks off. Right, so here's my question for you, and I want your honest answer down in the comments. No fence-sitting. If Tottenham say no, and Rangers have to spend serious money to sign Mikey Moore permanently this summer, would you pay it? Would you break the bank for an 18-year-old who's already shown more fight in light blue than half the senior squad? Or do you think 18 years old is too young to gamble big money on, and we should be chasing proven players instead? Tell me below, lads. What's it going to be? Faith in the kid or play it safe? Over on Ibrox News and also on the Four Lads Had a Dream podcast on the 17th of May, Stevie Clifford said something that's going to stick with me for a long while. He said, and I'm quoting the man here, Rangers are in a position we've seen before. New manager comes in, we get an uplift, rinse and repeat. We go for a title when it looks unlikely and then we fall short. Why do we keep falling short? Well, the owners feel the reason is the players and the squad. And that, lads, is exactly what Andrew Cavenagh did at his press conference on the 17th of May. The American came out, defended Danny Rohl publicly, and put the blame square on the dressing room. Now, think about this for a minute, right? The man has just backed himself into a corner like a wee dog. 'Cause if he's saying the squad's the problem, then there's no excuse left, is there? None. Zero. The checkbook better come out this summer, and not with 100 quid in it, with proper money, 'cause the supporters now expect a complete overhaul. Goalkeeper, defenders, midfield, the lot. And telling you, the fans in G51 want a new goalkeeper, plain and simple. So now Cavenagh and the 49ers crew have set the bar. They've told the world the squad's the problem. So if next season we start slow again, if we drop points to the wee Diddy teams again, if we limp into the post-split with no momentum, there's nowhere to hide, no manager to sack as an easy out. The owners have publicly said it's on them to fix the squad, right? So fix it. Honest. This summer's got to be the biggest rebuild this club has seen in a long time, and the supporters will be watching every signing, every press release, every penny. So here's my question for you, lads, and I want a proper answer in the comments. Do you actually trust Andrew Cavenagh and the American owners to spend the kind of money this rebuild needs? Or do you reckon they're all talk, defending the manager in public just to buy themselves time? And come August, we'll be looking at 3 or 4 bargain bin signings while that lot down the road strengthen properly. Tell me below, faith in the Yanks, or do you smell a stitch-up coming? Right, that's your lot, lads. Drop your answer in the comments, 'cause the sharpest one gets read out by name in the next video. Smash the like, hit subscribe, ring the bell. We are the people. See yas next time.